Ezekiel 6. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, set your face toward the mountains of Israel, and prophesy against them. And you shall say, O mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Master Yahweh. Thus said the Master Yahweh to the mountains, to the hills, to the ravines, and to the valleys, Look, I myself am bringing a sword against you, and I shall destroy your high places, and your slaughter places shall be ruined. Your sun pillars shall be broken in pieces, and I shall make your slain fall in the front of your idols, and lay the corpses of the children of Israel in front of their idols, and scatter your bones all around your slaughter places. In all your dwelling places in the cities shall be destroyed, and the high places deserted, so that your slaughter places are broken, and bear their punishment. And your idols shall be smashed and made to cease, and your sun pillars cut down, and your works blotted out, and the slain shall fall in your midst, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. But I shall leave a remnant, in that some of you shall escape the sword among the nations when you are scattered throughout the lands. And those of you who escape shall remember me among the nations where they have been taken captive, because I have broken by their adulterous heart, which has turned away from me, and by their eyes which whored after their idols. And they shall loathe themselves for the evils which they have done in all their abominations. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, and not for naught have I spoken to do this evil to them. Thus said the Master Yahweh, strike with your hand and stamp your feet, and say, Alas, because of all the evil abominations of the house of Israel, who shall fall by sword, by scarcity of food, and by pestilence. He who is far off shall die by pestilence. He who is near fall by the sword, and he who is left over and is besieged die by scarcity of food. And I shall complete my wrath upon them. And you shall know that I am Yahweh, when their slain are among their idols, all around their slaughter places, on every high hill, on all the mountain tops, under every green tree, and under every thick oak, wherever they offered sweet incense to all their idols. And I shall stretch out my hand against them, and make the land a waste, even more waste than the wilderness towards Diblah, in all their dwelling places, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. 7. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, And you, son of man, this is what the Master Yahweh said to the land of Israel. An end. The end has come upon the four corners of the land. Now the end is upon you, and I shall send my displeasure against you, and judge you according to your ways, and repay you for all your abominations. And my eye shall not pardon you, nor would I spare, for I repay your ways while your abominations are in your midst. And you shall know that I am Yahweh. Thus said the Master Yahweh, a calamity, and only calamity, look, it has come. An end has come, the end has come. It has awakened against you. Look, it has come. The turn has come to you, O inhabitants of the land. The time has come, a day of uproar is near, and not of rejoicing in the mountains. Soon I shall pour out my wrath, and shall complete my displeasure upon you, and judge you according to your ways, and repay you for all your abominations. And my eye shall not pardon, nor would I spare. I give you according to your ways while your abominations are in your midst. And you shall know that I am Yahweh who strikes. See the day. See, it has come. The turn has come. The rod has blossomed. Pride has budded. The violence has grown into a rod of wrongdoing. There is none of them, and none of its crowd, and none of their riches, and none eminent among them. The time has come, and the day has arrived. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for wrath is on all its crowd. For the seller shall not return to what has been sold, though they are still alive. For the vision is for all its crowd. It shall not turn back. And in the crookedness of his life a man shall not strengthen himself. They have blown the trumpet, and all is prepared, but no one goes to battle, for my wrath is on all its crowd. The sword is outside, and the pestilence and the scarcity of food inside. He who is in the field dies by the sword, and he who is in a city, scarcity of food and pestilence devour him. While they who escape of them shall escape and be on the mountains like doves of the valley, all of them mourning, each for his crookedness. All hands go limp, and all knees become as water, and they shall gird on sackcloth and be covered with trembling, and shame shall be on every face, and baldness on their heads. They grow their silver into the streets. They throw their silver into the streets, and their gold becomes as filth. Their silver and their gold is unable to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh. They do not satisfy their appetite nor fill their stomachs, because it has been their stumbling block of crookedness. And the splendor of his ornaments he set it in excellency, but they made from it the images of their abominations and their disgusting matters. Therefore I shall make it like filth to them, and I shall give it for a prey into the hands of strangers, and to the wrong of the earth for a spoil, and they shall profane it. And I shall turn my face from them, and they shall profane my secret place, for destroyers shall enter it, and profane it. Make a chain, for the land has been filled with crimes of blood, and the city has been filled with violence. And I shall bring the evil ones of the nations, and they shall possess their house. And I shall cause the pride of the strong to cease, and their set-apart places shall be profaned. Destruction shall come, and they shall seek peace, but there is none. Calamity upon calamity shall come, and report shall be upon report, and they shall seek a vision from a prophet. But the teaching has perished from the priest, and the counsel from the elders. Let the sovereign mourn, and let the prince put on despair, and let the hands of the common people tremble, and I shall deal with them according to their way, and judge them with their own right rulings, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. Chapter 8. And it came to be in the 6th year, in the 6th month, on the 5th of the new moon, as I sat in my house with the elders of Yehudah sitting before me, that the hand of the Master Yahweh fell upon me there. And I looked and saw a likeness, like the appearance of fire, from his waist and downward. The appearance was like fire, and from his waist and upward the appearance of brightness like glowing metal. And he stretched out the form of a hand, and took me by a lock of my hair. And the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heavens, and brought me in visions of Elohim to Jerusalem, to the door of the north gate of the inner court, where the seat of the image of jealousy was, which causes jealousy. And see, the esteem of the Elohim of Israel was there, like the vision that I saw in the plain. And he said to me, Son of man, please lift your eyes toward the north. And I lifted my eyes northward, and north of the slaughter place gate I saw this image of jealousy in the entrance. And he said to me, Son of man, do you see what they are doing? The great abominations which the house of Israel are doing here, driving me away from my set-apart place. And you are to see still greater abominations. Excuse me. Then he brought me to the door of the court, and I looked and saw a hole in the wall, and he said to me, Son of man, please dig into the wall. And when I dug into the wall, I saw a door. And he said to me, Go in and see the evil abominations which they are doing there. And I went in and looked and saw all kinds of creeping creatures, abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel carved all around on the walls. And facing them stood 70 men, of the elders of the house of Israel, and in their midst stood Yaazan Yahu, son of Shaphan. Each one had a censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. And he said to me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of the house of Israel are doing in the dark? Each one in the room of his idols. For they say, Yahweh does not see us. Yahweh has forsaken the land. And he said to me, You are to see still greater abominations which they are doing. And he brought me to the door of the north gate of the house of Yahweh, and I saw women sitting there, weeping for Tammuz. Then he said to me, Have you seen this, O son of man? You are to see still greater abominations than these. And he brought me into the inner court of the house of Yahweh, and there, at the door of the Hekal of Yahweh, between the porch and the slaughter place, were about 25 men, with their backs toward the Hekal of Yahweh and their faces toward the east, and they were bowing themselves eastward to the sun. And he said to me, Have you seen, O son of man? Is it a small matter to the house of Yehudah to do the abominations which they have done here? For they have filled the land with violence, and turned back to provoke me, and see, they are putting the branch to my nose. Therefore I shall indeed deal in wrath. My eyes shall not pardon, nor would I spare, and they shall cry in my ears with a loud voice, but I shall not hear them. Chapter 9. And he called out in my hearing with a loud voice, saying, Let the punishers of the city draw near, each with his weapon of destruction in his hand. And look, 6 men came from the direction of the upper gate, which faces north, each with his battle axe in his hand. And one man in their midst was clothed with linen, and had a writer's inkhorn at his side. And they came in and stood beside the bronze slaughter place. And the esteem of the Elohim of Israel went up from the cherub where it had been to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, who had the writer's inkhorn at his side. And Yahweh said to him, Pass on into the midst of the city, into the midst of Jerusalem, and you shall put a mark on the foreheads of the men who sigh and cry over all the abominations that are done within. And to the others he said in my hearing, Pass on into the city after him, and strike. Do not let your eye pardon nor spare. Kill to destruction old, young men, maidens, and children, and women, but do not come near anyone upon whom is the mark, and begin at my set-apart place. So they began with the elders who were in the front of the house. And he said to them, Defile the house, and fill the courts with the slain. Go out. And they went out and struck in the city. And as they were striking them, it came to be that I alone was left, and I fell on my face and cried out and said, Ah, Master Yahweh, are you destroying all the remnant of Israel and pouring out your wrath on Jerusalem? And he said to me, The crookedness of the house of Israel and Yehudah is exceedingly great, and the land is filled with bloodshed, and the city filled with that which is warped. For they say, Yahweh has forsaken the land, and Yahweh is not seeing. But as for me, my eye shall not pardon, nor would I spare. I shall recompense their deeds on their own head. And see, the man clothed with linen, who had the inkhorn in his side, reported back and said, I have done as you commanded me. Chapter 10. And I looked and saw in the expanse that was above the head of the cherubim, like a sapphire stone, having the appearance of the likeness of a throne. And he spoke to the man clothed with linen and said, Go in among the wheels under the cherub, and fill your hands with the coals of fire from among the cherubim, and scatter over the city. And he went in before my eyes, and the cherubim were standing on the south side of the house. When the man went in, and the cloud filled the inner court, and the esteem of Yahweh went up from the cherub over the threshold of the house, and the house was filled with the cloud, and the court was filled with the brightness of esteem of Yahweh. And the sound of the wings of the cherubim was heard in the outer court like the voice of El Shaddai when he speaks. And it came to be, when he commanded the man clothed in linen, saying, Take fire from among the wheels, from among the cherubim, that he went in and stood beside the wheel. And the cherub stretched out his hand from among the cherubim to the fire that was among the cherubim, and took some, and put it in the hands of the man clothed with linen, who took it and went out. And the form of a man's hand was seen under the wings of the cherubim. And I looked and saw 4 wheels beside the cherubim, 1 wheel beside each cherub, and the wheels' appearance was like the color of beryl stone. As for their appearance, all 4 looked alike, as if a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went on their 4 sides. They did not turn aside when they went, but went in the direction of the head was facing. They did not turn aside when they went. And their entire bodies and their backs and their hands and their wings and the wheels and the 4 that the 4 had were covered with eyes all around. The wheels were called in my hearing, Wheel, and each one had 4 faces, and the first face was the face of the cherub, and the second face the face of a man, and the third the face of a lion, and the fourth the face of an eagle. And the cherubim were lifted up. It was a living creature I saw by the river Chebar. And when the cherubim went, the wheels went beside them. And when the cherubim lifted their wings to mount up from the earth, the same wheels also did not turn from beside them. When they stood still, the wheels stood still, and when one was lifted up, the other lifted itself up, for the spirit of the living creature was in them. And the esteem of Yahweh went from the threshold of the house and stood over the cherubim. And the cherubim lifted their wings and rose from the earth before my eyes when they went out, and the wheels were beside them, and it stood at the door of the east gate of the house of Yahweh. And the esteem of Elohim of Israel was above them. It was the living creature I saw under the Elohim of Israel by the river Chebar, and I knew they were cherubim. 4. Each one had 4 faces, and each one 4 wings, and the likeness of the hands of a man was under their wings, and the likeness of their faces was the same as the faces which I had seen by the river Chebar. Their appearances and themselves, each one went straight forward. Shalom.